What's your favorite joke? Why did the Scarecrow get promoted? Because he was outstanding in his field. I swear I heard that on some commercial just this morning. Holy shit. I'm not very good at telling jokes. I always punch up the fuck line. I see what you did there. There were two cats. One was named 123. The other was named Undo X Trois. They came upon a river and they needed to swim across. Only one of them lived. Which one? 123, because Undo X Trois cat sank. I just learned how to count in French so I can appreciate the joke more. Anyone? This one made me cackle. Thank for making me laugh, fellow Redditor. Take my French up vote. Oh, I like this one. Don't get it? Now it's 6 to exist. Two cannibals eating a clown. One says to the other, does this taste funny to you? Two clowns are eating a cannibal. One says to the other, I think we fucked up this joke. What do you do if you're being attacked by clowns? Go for the jugular. Oh, I got a story related to this. So I used to deliver pizza, and every so often you'd get someone asking you to write a joke on the box lid. Now we were underpaid and overworked at this job. So one night I wrote my career when asked to write a joke on the box. They didn't get it, and my boss made me drive 8 miles back to the person's house to explain the joke. Nay, fact, I had to go back to explain the joke says it all. Did you also give them a pizza, your mind? That's awesome, laughing face. A pizza shop that delivers 8 miles out? That's shocking to me. Never found one that delivers beyond a mile or two. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? If they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. I like this one. I wish I knew how to respond with images, cause I would send the smug cat picture in response. People who pronounce it fudgels wouldn't get it. Oy day. I mean, you can eat both. Did you hear about the two people that stole a calendar? They each got 6 months. Why did the traffic light turn red? You'd be embarrassed too if you had to change in the street. One I heard here, actually. So one day, a highway patrol officer was parked on the side of the road keeping an eye out for speeders and whatnot. All of a sudden, he sees a man in a convertible with like 5 penguins in the backseat. The officer immediately takes off after the guy, turns on his lights, and pulls him. The officer approaches the vehicle on foot and says, "Say, why do you have all these penguins with you?" Quote. The man just looks at the officer and shrugs. Taken aback, the officer tells the man, "Well, you should take them to the zoo immediately." Quote. The man lights up and says, "Wow, that's a great idea. I'll take them right now." Quote. So the officer bids the man a good day and returns to his earlier spot. A few hours pass and all of a sudden, the same convertible passes with the same 5 penguins in the backseat. Aghast, the officer chases down the car, pulls him over, and angrily stomps over to the driver and says, "Hey, I thought I told you to take these penguins to the zoo." Quote. Surprised, the man turns and says, "I did. Now we're going to the movies." Quote. Oh my god, this is so cute, you. A Buddhist goes up to a hot dog vendor and says, "Make me one with everything." He then hands the vendor cash, and upon getting no change back asks why. The vendor replies, "Change comes from within." I know it's a dad joke, but Pete and Repeat were walking on a bridge. Pete fell off, who was left. After someone says, "Repeat," you repeat the joke. I was told they were on a boat. One of us has been lied to. It's an old and nerdy one. Back from when there were suggestions that neutrinos may travel faster than light. It goes like this. Neutrino. Quote. Who's there? Knock knock. Why couldn't the T-Rex scratch his nose? Because he's dead. As. What's blue and not very heavy? Light blue. This is stupid, I love it. SREML. What did the fish say when he ran into the concrete wall? Damn. Hey, I'm swimming EER. 3 old ladies were sitting on a park bench when a man walked by and flashed them. The first old lady had a stroke. The second also had a stroke. The third couldn't reach. Anyone who has ever seen Boondock Saints will know this one. So 3 men are walking down the street, a white guy, a black guy, and a Mexican. One of them grabs a genie lamp and rubs it out. Come the genie. Hello gentlemen, as 3 of you have rubbed the lamp, each of you get 1 wish. The black guy goes first. I want me and all my black brothers and sisters to be back in Africa. The genie snaps and the wish is granted as the Mexican dude speaks up. I want me and all my Mexican brothers and sisters back in Mexico. The genie snaps. Any wish is granted as he looks at the white guy. So what do you wish for, sir? So all the black are in Africa and the Mexicans are back in Mexico? Yes, that is correct. Then I'll have a Coke. A guy is preparing to take a girl to prom, but he has to do 3 things. First, buy flowers, rent a limo, and get a suit. He goes to get flowers, but there's this long line of people getting flowers. So he waits. Eventually, he gets his flowers. He goes to rent a limo, and again there's a long line. But he waits, and is able to rent a limo. He then goes to get a suit, and yet again there's a long line of people waiting to get suits. However, he is patient, and waits in line, and eventually, he gets his suit. Prom night arrives and everything is going great. He and his date are having an awesome time, and his date asks him to get her some punch. SJL Mealy HSR we. There's no punchline. So an English teacher went to Germany to teach the German kids English words. On day 1 he taught them all the words beginning with the letter A. On day 2 he taught them all the words beginning with the letter B. After day 3, which was words beginning with C, he wondered, how are they gonna handle D-Day? I made a playlist for hiking. It has music from Peanut, The Cranberries, and Eminem. I call it my trail mix. Curiosity link 7 points. 2 days ago, edited 2 days ago. 2 drunks get kicked out of the bar when it closes and decide that they want to continue drinking. So one tells the other to just come to his house, where he has some drinks hidden in the cellar. The other agrees, and off they go. This here is my house. Huh? No, that's my house. And they argue back and forth whose house it is until the door opens and a woman looks out. Again, %C asterisk. Of course, both drunk out of their minds. Like father, like son. There was a dog who sang out of his butt. He got a job at Carnegie Hall. Right before he was supposed to go on, he started pooping all over the stage. The manager comes out and says, "What are you doing?" And the dog says, "I'm just clearing my throat." Oh no, 0. So, I see Eddie NAC, A1 E Dalia AUCLRL Sally, E Pumet, AMLMAAYL Sally, 10. Victim, who? Co, less than IAYYOLO LGT, 1. What's a dildo farmer's worst nightmare? A small crop. I have a few. ADR says to a husband, "Your wife has a cute angina." And the husband says, "I know doc, but what about her heart?" Quote, Q, why didn't Ken and Barbie never have kids? A Ken came in a different box. Q, how will everyone remember Bill Clinton in history? A president after Bush. A man walking through a hotel lobby accidentally bumps into a woman hitting her breast with his CFOFE talod lek ie madak holo dbe mal trolmemc meli mmcelee. C. Leah. CT Pello Lari EROLVL1LO. QBML Sele Ta. 2020. I like jokes where nobody laughs and the teller doesn't understand it isn't funny and keeps trying. Iol Kalala. My first day of stats class, the Professor Modenbach, or something like that, said, "Most students call me Mr. Mode. And you can call me anything as long as you don't call me Mr. Mean." It was an 8 a.m. class and everyone was half asleep, so he got 0 laughs. So he said something about nobody hearing him and kept repeating it. Then he explained the joke, mean, median, mode, and repeated it again until someone gave him a pity laugh. Internally, I was dying. That was the most hilarious joke I've ever witnessed. A guy and a girl goes up to a room to have sex. Afterwards the guy says to her, "If I'd known you were a virgin I'd have gone slower." To which she replies, "If I'd known you had more time, I'd have taken of my pantyhose. Give a man a fire and he's warm for a day, but set fire to him and he's warm for the rest of his life." Why don't you ever see hippos hiding behind trees? 'Cause they really good at it? What do you do with a sick chemist? Well, if you can't heal him and you can't cure him, then you might as well bury him. Two polar bears are sitting in a bath. One of them asks, "Can you pass me the soap?" Quote. The other one responds with, "No soap. Radio. C greater than mice. No, spray. Dio." Ha 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 ha, I definitely got it. Also, hey Michael. PNREEY 10A8. Ha 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 ha. Classic. No. Of course I get it. Only stupid people don't. Last year was a sad year for my family. Last year, my mom should have been celebrating her 60th birthday, but because of drugs, alcohol and other terrible decisions, we all forgot. It was sad. Glorious. Two dyslexic bank robbers run into a bank and shout, "Air in the hands mother stickers, this is a fuck up." Quote. What is a fake rock? A shamrock. Why can't dinosaurs clap? 'Cause they're dead. What's big red and eats rocks? A big red rock eater. Knock knock, who's there? Who, here comes the train. An Irishman walks out of a pub. Why did the chicken cross the road? Yeah, to get to the idiot's house. Knock knock. Who's there? The chicken. Sally fell off the swing because she had no arms. Knock knock. Who's there? Not Sally. Ukrainian and French survived the crash. Nationality does not make sense in this situation. They woke up on an island with a wild tribe. The leader of the tribe told them to go into the Yungazon, the island, and get any growth there. The first was a Ukrainian. He found a wild vine of grapes in the jungle. The leader told him to bend down and shove what he brought in his ass. And if he did not utter a single emotion, he would survive. The Ukrainian began to shove. Everything was fine, but on the last grape he began to laugh. He was fried and eaten. And when the Ukrainian and Francis met in heaven, he asked how he died. And I put the last grape in the ass. And I saw you with a rose. Tmisle. Sarah tne ble latte me. Lahe. Yo mama so cross-eyed, she looked out the front door and saw the backyard. Toby Flenderson. That's is all. My penis is erect 420. Fricktoby. Why are skeletons so calm? Because nothing gets under their skin. Bro, you wanna see my pamphlet? Bro, sure. Quote. There's a brother cell and a sister cell. The brother cell stubs his toe up and looked to his sister. Mitosis. I would say me, but that's my least favorite joke. Did you hear about the magic tractor? The Aristocrats, as told by Gilbert Gottfried. I prefer hizzy. Tudo Joan Rivers' vagina. Knock knock. Who's there? Bales. Dishes who? Dishes Sean Connery. I struggle to laugh at standalone jokes, but I love jokes that run into conversation. The kind that just get funnier whenever someone adds something. What do you call a three-legged donkey? A wonky donkey. How does a mathematician destroy a forest? He puts it in the power of 2 so the roots come out. Little math joke for ya. Two antennae hot married. The wedding was so-so, but the reception was great. What's brown and sticky? A stick. A family buys a lie detector that makes a ding whenever a lie is told. The dad tests it out by asking his son what he did today. The son says he did homework. Ding. The dad again asks what the son did, and the son replies that he was watching porn. The dad is shocked, and says that when he was his son's age, he never watched porn. Ding. The mom then says, he sure is your son. Ding. My entire existence is a never-ending cosmic joke and I am the punchline. Why did Jenny fall off the swing? She's got no arms. Knock knock. Who's there? to Tiela. What does a couch say to the other couch on the other side of the room? We are sofa apart. That was so fucking funny. Knee slap. Registered. 3 pregnant women were in the hospital ward awaiting delivery. One said, "Mine will be a boy, because my husband was on top." Another said, "Mine will be a girl because I was on top." The third said, "Oh my god, I'm going to have a puppy." Quote, "Why did the chicken cross the playground to get to the other slide?" A dyslexic man walks into a bra. A farmer comes by his friend's, also farmer, house. He knocks on the door, and the friend's younger son answers. F. "Hey kiddo, where's your dad?" S. "Oh, he got run over by a tractor." F. "Oh, my god, I'm so sorry. Where is your mom then?" S. "She was also run over by a tractor." F. "Mom too. Where's your older brother?" S. "He too got run over by a tractor." F. "Then what are you doing all day?" S. "Driving the tractor." A nurse walks into a hospital room to a man on a ventilator. The man looks concerned. Nurse. R. Avasti. Elid. Lacia. The nurse looks shocked and says, "Sir, that's not really what we are treating." "Please nurse, please, are my testicles black?" "Sir, calm down. I'm sure everything is fine." "Nurse, you've got to tell me, are my testicles black?" Quote, "So the nurse lifts up this sheet and adjusts the gown and inspects his testicles." "No sir, they are not. Everything's fine." The man removes the mask from his face and says thank you. Now listen carefully. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 789. 789. F-E-E-I-Lear-Lan. My girlfriend asks why I carry a gun around the house. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "The motherfucking Decepticons." She laughed. I laughed. The toaster laughed. I shot the toaster. It was a good time. It's corny, but I love it. What's the best exercise for EMTs? Deadlift. Where were the baked beans going when they were hitchhiking? Cairns. Asterisk courtesy of my dad and the dodgy TV shows he watches. What do you call a room with no walls or windows? A mushroom. The time my mom said I missed my shot into the abortion basket, I wonder why she said it though. Mainly jokes about Trump being an idiot. SWAT. Best told in person. A bear walks into a bar and says till order a beer, and while the bartender is making the drink he says why the long pause? And the bear says I don't know, my dad has long paws. My mirror. Why did the astronaut not go back to his wife? Because he needed space! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. You wouldn't get it? What's brown and ho with Snoop? Dr. Dre. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender says why the long face? SWAT. Yo mama. Why do ducks have feathers on their butt? To cover up their ass quack. Knee slapping noises. A young guy is visiting his girlfriend's house to have dinner with her father. While they were eating, the father looked at the guy and asked, "Young man, do you have a job?" Quote, the guy shook his head and answered, "No, but I know God will help me." Again, the father glanced at the guy before asking, "Young man, do you have your own home to live in?" Quote, the man shook his head for a second time and quickly said, "No, but I know God will help." Hilla. As dinner was coming to a close, the father asked a final time, "Young man, do you have any savings to support yourself and my daughter?" Quote, the man shook his head for the third time and answered, "No, but I know God will help me." After the young man left to go back home, the girl asked her father, "Dad, what do you think of him?" Quote, after a moment of thought, he shrugged and said, "He sucks, but I like what he calls me." Dad jokes. SWAT. T. Multi-story car park crime. Wrong on so many levels. What's worse than having lobsters on your piano? Crabs on your organ? UTI. To people who say, "Are y'all working hard or hardly working?" Strangle them and say, "Are y'all breathing hard or hardly breathing?" What's the difference between a hooker and a drug dealer? A hooker can wash her crack and resell it. Knock knock. Who's there? Interrupting cow. Interrupting C. Moo. WEL shot LA Fay leave DT. My grandpa died in Auschwitz. He fell down a Mirador. What's brown and sticky? A stick. There's 2 muffins sitting in an oven. The first muffin says, "Boy, it sure is hot in here." The other muffin says, "Holy shit." A talking muffin. Quote. Also, why did Sally fall off the swing? Because she had no arms. Knock knock. Who's there? Not Sally. A priest, a rapist and a pedophile walk into a bar, and that's just one person. 2 guys walk into a bar. The third ducks under it. Did you know that a group of crows is called a murder? Well, technically it's only a murder if there's probable cause. A group of engineering professors were invited to fly in a plane. Right after they were comfortably seated, they were informed the plane was built by their students. All but one got off their seats and headed frantically to the exits in maniacal panic. The one lone professor that stayed put calmly in his seat was asked, "Why did you stay put?" "I have plenty of confidence in my students. Knowing them, I for a fact can assure you this piece of shit plane will never even start." A blonde walks into a bank in New York City and asks for the loan officer. She says she's going to Europe on business for 2 weeks and needs to borrow $5,000. The bank officer says the bank will need some kind of security for the loan. So the blonde hands over the keys to a new Rolls-Royce. The car is parked on the street in front of the bank. She has the title, and everything checks out. The bank agrees to accept the car as collateral for the loan. The bank's president and its officers all enjoy a good laugh at the blonde for using a $250,000 Rolls as collateral against a $5,000 loan. An employee of the bank then drives the Rolls into the bank's underground garage and parks it there. 2 weeks later, the blonde returns and repays the $5,000 and the interest, which comes to $15.41. The loan officer says, "Miss, we are very happy to have had your business, and this transaction has worked out very nicely, but we are a little puzzled. We checked you out and found that you are a multi-millionaire. What puzzles us is why would you bother to borrow $5,000? The blonde replies, "Where else in New York City can I park my car for 2 weeks for only $15.41 and expect it to be there when I return?" Quote. Mom asks little Johnny to call dad. A little while later, Mom asks little Johnny, "Did you call your dad?" "Yes, but every time a woman answers, 'What?' Wait until that man walks through the door." Quote. An hour later, the dad walks in and Johnny's mom is ready with an iron pan and proceeds to give him a real good beating. "That's what you get for cheating. You were with a woman all day. Johnny, tell him what you heard." Little Johnny says the woman said, "You have insufficient funds to make this call." Patient. "I just don't understand why I can't get a date." Therapist. "Have you tried flirting?" Patient. "I've tried biting my lips seductively." Therapist. "Can you show me?" Patient. Bites lip. Therapist. "Maybe try biting your top lip." A thermometer is a speedometer for atoms. I have 2. Am I allowed to? I'm telling you to. 1. What did the deaf, dumb, and blind kid get for Christmas? Cancer. 2. A lady goes to a gynecologist for a checkup. She climbs on the bed and puts her feet in the stirrups, and the doctor comes in and takes a good look between her legs. He looks closely and says, "I'm gonna need to make it numb." She says, "Okay." So he puts his face between her legs and goes numb 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 numb. We don't serve time travelers in here. Quote. A time traveler walks into a bar. Atheism is a non-profit organization. I wonder if a business selling glass coffins will be a success. Remains to be seen. Here's 2 I made up. I got rid of the lice I've been having for weeks the other day. That problem's finally out of my hair. A locomotive filled with my emotions left without me. In other words, I lost my train of thought. Knock knock. Who's there? I saw this on Reddit a while ago, and it is my new favorite. Dad, can I borrow a bookmark? I am still in tears. She got her book, but she doesn't know my name is Jim. SWAT. America's civil rights right now. See. Chicken Nugget 814 0 points 2 days ago, edited 2 days ago. So this Cola is going on an interview for his dream job. He crushed the interview and 2 days later, he gets a call from the place. We were going over your records and it appears you have the qualifications. Congratulations, sir. The Cola jumps around and is filled with joy, for his dreams are finally coming true. As he slowly gets more comfortable in his new job, he slowly puts less effort in his work. A few months later, his boss calls him to the office. He sits him down and tells him, "Look, it was really great having you work here and all, but you're doing the bare minimum. You're fired." Quote. After all his hard work to get where he was, and it was over just like that. His hopes, his dreams, everything he worked for, gone. It was so unbearable for the Cola that he turned to alcohol to cope. The Cola walks into a bar and the bartender says, "I'm sure your life is very tough." The Cola says, "Try ruining your life with your bare hands." Why do scuba diver fall backwards out of the boat? Because if they fell forwards, they'd still be in the boat. What starts with AM, ends with arrage, and men love it? Miscarriage lol. That joke never gets old. Just like the baby. Me. Someone probably already wrote this. My life. A cop pulls over a man driving a minivan full of penguins. He asks if the man has a license for all the penguins and the guy says no. Cop says, "I want you to take these penguins to the zoo immediately," and the guy says no problem. The next day, the cop sees the same guy driving the same minivan full of penguins. He pulls him over again and says, "Hey, I told you to bring these penguins to the zoo." Quote. The guy says, "I did. Today we're going for ice cream." All the joke San says. The more the merrier. Quote. Merrier? I barely know her. Is my life. Your comment. One a year, a coronavirus joke? You probably won't get it. It's in Hungarian and can't possibly be translated without losing all the greatness about it. Could you explain it instead? Smiley face. Yes, I know a great one, but I'm not telling it to you. Hey mom, how do you look with this dress? Beautiful honey, but that wheelchair makes suck your outfit. Your president lol. Trudeau. For and pinned by Madara. Cookies help us deliver our services by using our services or clicking I agree. You agree to our use of cookies. Learn more. Rayout AEETLS.